Ball State SportsLink's third Down Chirp is presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Log on to papajohns.com today for more info.
One team, one mission.
For about 55 minutes Saturday afternoon in Iowa City, it seemed like the Ball State Cardinals were going to shock the college football world and get their first win against Iowa in school history. But unfortunately, it went to the Birds wearing the black and gold Saturday afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm Luke Martin alongside Tyler Bradfield, Connor Onion. Guys, what a game Saturday afternoon. It was a picture-perfect day in Iowa City. You couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day, and it seemed everything was going Ball State's way until the end.
I don't think you could put the weather into question. It was a picture-perfect type day, Luke, and Ball State, everything was going their way. They got the necessary breaks. The ball was bouncing their way. However, Iowa just made the necessary plays down the stretch.
Disappointing not to come out of there with a victory, all things considered, but you have one more non-conference game this week. It's not going to be a cakewalk, not going to be an easy game. You still have to play hard, but you have time to get things right before you head into conference play, and games really, really start to matter.
No doubt. It was a tough loss for the Ball State Cardinals, but in case you did miss the game Saturday afternoon, and if you did miss the game, what the heck were you doing with your Saturday afternoon? You got to watch that football game. But if you missed it, here's a good recap for you. It's our first installment of our Sounds of the Game segment this year for Third Down Chirp. And it takes the radio calls from Tyler Bradfield and Connor Onion on 91.3 WCRD, Ball State SportsLink Radio.
Good afternoon from Kinnick Stadium on a sunny afternoon, casting over the skies of Iowa City and the University of Iowa. Today, the Cardinals are on the road for the first time in 2014 with the Iowa Hawkeyes of the Big Ten serving as the host. Backup quarterback C.J. departed for the football game. Takes the chest high snap back. Kind of good protection. Going to gun one long down the left side of the field. It's stride for Powell over the shoulder. Touchdown Iowa. He brought it into the corner. Said he moves in motion across the formation. Martin Manley takes the snap, loses it. It's picked up by Ball State defensive linemen and carried all the way into the end zone for a Ball State touchdown. On a sweep to the right side, it was picked up and carried by Blake Dewitt. Now for the right hash, 1st and 10, throws to the right side. It's Connor the move, Canzieri down the Cardinals sideline 40, 35-foot race to the 25, spins his way to the 15 and eventually tackled. A huge gain for the Hawkeyes. Snap to running, play action, makes the pass. He's wrapped up and dropped from around the end. Eric Patterson came on a blitz and wrapped him up in the backfield for his first sack of the season. Snap to him, they trail 7-3. Steps up into the pocket, throws to the flat, Bullock with the catch, and immediately leveled and lit up by Aaron Taylor.
Well, that's the emotion you have to play with. Aaron Taylor, he's showing the gold and black faithful how to tackle a ball carrier.
That sends us to halftime. The score on the Kinnick Stadium scoreboard as we've reached the end of the first half reads the Cardinals 7, the Hawkeyes 3. Gets to Canzieri, he sees a whole 40, cuts it back over the field 30, spun down and tackled at the 30-yard line. It was made by Darnell Smith on the tackle. It's not good, spot down, right-footed kick is on the way, and he missed it as well. Edwards alone back to the left. Ozzie Man calls for the snap, gives it to Edwards around the corner to the 20, 25-30, down the Cardinals sideline to the 35 before he's tripped up and out of bounds. Empty backfield for Ozzie Man. They go 5 wide, takes the snap, turns to his right. There's a short pass that's incomplete right side. Right back to Martin. Look, he throws to the end zone. Willie's in the back of the end zone, makes a two-handed leaping catch, touchdown for the Hawkeyes. From the shotgun ball on the left hand corner to 12 yards. Goes right to left, takes the snap, off the pass, looking left. He throws into the flat. It's caught. Touchdown. It's caught by Doozy. 35 seconds remain. Clock ticks. Snap to man. He drops. He looks. He pumps. He's under some pressure.
pressure. He's brought down. The ball is loose, and Iowa recovers. That'll do it, Tyler. Indecisiveness from Ozzie Mann. Didn't know where to go with the football. Perhaps the crowd and the stage finally got to him.
The Iowa Hawkeyes only led for 1 minute Saturday, but it was the most important minute of the game. It was the last minute. Guys, as we look at the stats on the screen, what stands out to you?
Well, what stands out to me is this is really Ozzie Mann's first start on the road at a big-time school, a Big Ten opponent in Iowa. Let's flash back 4 years ago, 2010, when Keith Winning was getting his first start on the road. We're at a Big Ten opponent at Purdue. His numbers, 11 for 21, 89 yards. Ozzie Mann's numbers on Saturday against Iowa, 129 yards off 15 of 30. Neither necessarily all that staggering, which is a little food for thought and good company to be in.
Absolutely great company to be in if you're Ozzie Mann, but there are some things to be cleaned up, but you can't be too discouraged with the result on Saturday at Kinnick Stadium. 1 first down, and you're talking about walking out of there in front of 63,000 people, and you're coming out of there with a victory against a Big Ten opponent, but still can't be too disappointed. Inexperience, no excuse. Have to finish that game when you're up by 10 with less than 5 minutes to play.
And to add to Tyler's point, when you look at Ozzie Mann's stat line, the most important thing, no interceptions. He didn't make the big mistake, which when you're a young quarterback, your first start in front of 70,000 people, you're going to be prone to a lot of mistakes. Yet again, he didn't make the big-time play to win the game, but he didn't make the big-time mistake to lose the game either. So congrats to Ozzie for really having a great start. I would have liked it to have been a little bit better and end up getting the win, but you cannot take any credit away from Ozzie. Avoided the big mistake, which is always key when you go on the road in a big-time environment like Kinnick Stadium. Earlier this week, Coach Limbo caught up with the rest of the Mid-American Conference media on the MAC teleconference call on Monday, and here's what Pete Limbo had to say about his team's performance in Iowa City.
Our effort was tremendous, but the bottom line is that we didn't execute well enough to come out of there with the upset, and we played well enough and did some things right, but against an opponent of that magnitude in that environment, we had to execute at a higher level than we did. Our defense really gave us a chance, and I was pleased with how we defended the run. At the end of the day, holding them to 17 points and then scoring a touchdown on defense. It was a pretty good day for that group. Offensively, we ran the ball a little bit early, but lost control of the line of scrimmage later in the game, and we had to settle for some field goals in the second half where we really could have used touchdowns in the red zone, and we had to clean a few things up and play a very clean game. We had some penalties that got us off schedule offensively that put us behind the chains. I'm pleased with how we competed, but I think we let one slip away.
Guys, I think Coach Limbo could not have said it any better in that MAC teleconference call. Effort was there, great effort by the whole team, but they did let a big opportunity slip away.
Yeah, the effort was there. Iowa made the plays down the stretch, and really just a disappointing end for Ball State altogether.
I think at the end of the game you saw the difference between strength in the Big Ten, strength in the Mid-American Conference. The bigger bodies of the Hawkeyes wore down the Cardinals down the stretch there.
And that's a good point. Many people forget that Iowa, they're a Big Ten team in a Big Ten environment going on the road. That's not easy to do at Kinnick Stadium, especially a team as good as the Iowa Hawkeyes. So let's go ahead and into our opening drive, our three main headlines that emerged Saturday afternoon. For you, Tyler, what storyline emerged for you?
Well, for me, I'll go back to the fourth quarter, and you have to steal the deal in the fourth quarter, regardless the positive margin at halftime or in Ball State's case, the third quarter. Let's flash back all the way to last season. Last season, the fourth quarter was the only quarter that Ball State was outscored in by their opponents. And in fact, if you took the fourth quarter in itself as a game, Ball State's record would have been 5 wins, 4 losses, 4 ties. Against Iowa on Saturday, the Ball State Cardinals had a 10-point lead with under 6 minutes to go. It's all about not letting your foot off the gas pedal. When you hear this analogy all the time when it comes to running and track or cross country, it's finishing all the way through the finish line. And Ball State didn't do that. They let their foot off the gas pedal with 6 minutes to go with a 10-point comfortable lead, rather finish through and get the victory.
Well, this week, I think looking ahead and looking back to last week, you have to reestablish the run. Against Colgate, over 300 yards of offense on the ground. Against the Hawkeyes, only 90 yards in the rushing game. So get back to your bread and butter, shove the ball down the Sycamore's throat, and reestablish what you were so successful at in week 1, that was running the football. I know it was not an easy task for them to move the bodies of Louis Trinket-Passat and Carl Davis, two potentially NFL defensive tackles, but still have to get back to the ground with Joanna Edwards and Horatio Banks.
I think the main positive from the game was the defensive improvement under Coach Kelly through the first 2 weeks of the season, and it was especially on display in Iowa City. Only 27 combined points given up through the first 2 weeks of the season. That is the lowest in Ball State football history in over 20 years. So you got to tip your cap to Coach Kelly's bunch, and also bending but not breaking for the majority of the game. Iowa had a lot of big runs down into the red zone, but they didn't finish. They were only 50% in the red zone, and that's where you got to tip your cap to Coach Kelly, because 2 of those 3 trips were the 2 touchdown drives at the end of the game. So for the majority of the afternoon, they were not bending, they were not breaking. They were bending, but they didn't give up those big plays until the end of the game. And it really shows that Ben Engle, Zach Ryan and company, they're going to be able to make some big plays, especially when you know Ozzie Man, the offense, they may have some early season struggles as they continue to try to figure it out on the offensive side of the football. Well, speaking of defense, let's stay on the defensive side of the football, fellas. And for our Slice of Life segment on the show, Connor Onion went out to Schumann Stadium and caught up with defensive lineman Darnell Smith and found out his backstory and how he became a Ball State Cardinal.
Darnell Smith, defensive tackle, junior. I was kind of a late bloomer compared to a lot of my other friends and teammates. I started in 8th grade. My first dream was basketball. And in middle school, in 7th grade, I got cut from the basketball team. And I was like, okay, now it's time to kind of change directions. And 8th grade is when I first started. I actually was not a good player at all. It was kind of, you know, hard to transition from basketball to football. But once I got to high school, I just kind of kept learning, had a very good coaching staff and a great high school, and I kind of picked up a lot. At the end of my junior year, kind of going to my senior year, that's when I really kind of took a leap forward, and I could really see my strength, my speed was really developing, and I was kind of ahead. I was ahead of a lot of other people in my age group, and I could see that. I mean, I didn't know which level, you know, how high I would be necessarily, but I knew I had the potential to play Division I. Winning the state championship as a sophomore, that was a great feeling. With the double overtime against Carmel, it was a tough game. At that time, I was on junior varsity, but I dressed all varsity games, played every now and then. It was just a great feeling to win the state championship and to win it in that fashion. They were very down to earth, very humble. No one seemed, you know, kind of big-headed. Like they told me, you know, straight like it was. So I came in here focused and working hard. I would have an opportunity to play. It wasn't going to be handed to me, and it was close to home as well. And the coaching staff was very, like I said, it was blue collar, and I like that about it. Oh, it's a great feeling. After you win those games and you go cheer with the fans, singing that fight song, it's great. It's definitely a great feeling. I think I've became a lot, you know, over the years, a lot better in my run, stopping the run. I'm trying to keep developing my pass rush. It's kind of been a little inconsistent, so I've been staying after practice almost every day, just staying after with Nick Miles or Keenan Knoll or some of those guys, and trying to work on my speed and keep my feet moving and working on my hands so I can become a better pass rusher. I think it's just our mentality. We've known, you know, over the last few years since I've been here, the offense kind of, you know, led the way for us. And we've made plays here and there, but we've been kind of inconsistent. So we know this year we kind of came in. We've gotten a lot stronger working with Coach Feely, a lot faster, and we know that. And we believe in ourselves, we have confidence, and we're going out there, we're just running to the ball as hard as we can. We have no superstars on the team. It's just 11 guys working hard as one. So.
Now it is time to reveal our third down chirp photo of the game winner, and it's not Tyler Bradfield or Connor Onion or myself. So unfortunately, guys, we're not going to get a free Papa John's pizza.
We entered.
we entered.
I could always use a free pizza.
Tough judges here in the Ball State Sports Link program, but there is a winner, and that winner is Ryan McCormick as we bring up his photo. So congratulations to Ryan, and he's the one holding up the sign that says, "Hi, Mom." I think that's a guarantee. Whenever you hold up a sign that says hi to your mother, you're going to win.
I like that, too. That's purely genuine, no filter whatsoever.
Well, it's family weekend this weekend when Indiana State comes in, so he's going to share that pizza with his mother, right?
Well, you would hope
think.
so.
You'd hope so.
You would hope so, Ryan. So, Ryan, be sure to come down to the Ball State Sports Link studios in Ball Communication Building and get your certificate for a Papa John's pizza. So, congratulations to Ryan. Well, speaking of social media, Twitter is about to shut down because of the high demand of this next segment that we are reviving. Do you guys know what that segment is?
I think Hep Camp.
I think it is going to be Hep Camp. And I think one thing to remember is, see, every sports league student's not just like us three. We have students that do have athletic ability, and Aaron Hep is one of them. And now we revive the all-fun Hep Cam.
Now we just got a few questions for you. How about, what is your favorite Nickelodeon TV show?
Gotta be SpongeBob.
If you were a professional wrestler, what would be your signature move while walking into the ring? Like as in celebration.
I'm currently just joined. I'm a member of Money Team, so it'd probably be a lot of Money Team action, you know.
Looks like we're doing the Money Team on when we get in the ring. Now one more. Favorite celebration when you hit a good punt?
Oh, got to be the double pistols in the holsters.
Never done that.
No, but I plan to.
Keep it in the arsenal?
Yeah, I just got to keep in my back pocket, you know.
Now, how about who's your favorite Disney princess?
Trying to think. Probably gonna have to go with Princess Jasmine. She's pretty
good looking. She's cute.
Cute for a cartoon.
Kobe or LeBron?
LeBron fan.
If you were one type of fish, you could choose to be one type of fish, what kind would you be?
Largemouth bass.
Largemouth bass. No question. There's no question. Favorite food to get from the atrium?
Chick-fil-A for sure.
If you had to choose one 80s song to listen to in the shower, what would it be?
Oh man, gonna have to go with some Queen. We Are the Champions.
How about a little LRB, Little River Band?
Oh, always got Little River Band in my car. LRB.
What is your favorite Mexican restaurant?
Puertas.
Your favorite rapper?
Slim Shady, Eminem.
Favorite pizza? Who is your favorite NFL long snapper?
Matt Overton, your Indianapolis Colts.
That's his dream, folks, to be the Colts long snapper over here. Favorite food for a pregame meal?
You know, just lots of carbs. You know, like the carbs.
Carb up?
Carb up.
Favorite sauce from Chick-fil-A?
Big barbecue guy.
Who's your favorite character from SpongeBob?
You know, you got to go with Pinhead Larry there, Patrick.
Oh my gosh.
Now it's good to know whenever I do sideline reports on the Ball State Football Radio Network, I know exactly what Kyle Schmidt's favorite sauce is from Chick-fil-A.
See, he could have said any sauce there because you can't go wrong with any type. So anyone would have been good.
Well, I'm a barbecue kind of guy. I think me and Kyle Schmidt might have to hang out, go out for a meal or something. Love that barbecue.
Well, we'll see. Kyle, hit up Connor after the show. I'm sure you guys would love to make a lunch date or something there at the atrium.
I'm up for it.
Go eat some Chick-fil-A. But can you guys hear that? Do you hear what that is in the distance? It's the victory bell. The victory bells return to Schumann Stadium as the Ball State Cardinals go up against the Indiana State Sycamores. And to get you ready for the game Saturday afternoon, we have our third down chirp scatter report.
Well, first of all, they're going to come in here really hungry. This is a great opportunity for them. They played Indiana real well. Anytime you have an in-state rivalry type game like this, you know those Indiana kids on their roster are going to play out of their minds. The second thing I would say is they are dramatically improved from last year's team. They almost look nothing like the team we scouted in the spring. They've had an influx of a lot of talent, primarily from Texas and California junior colleges, as well as some four-year transfers. And it's really, really improved their overall athleticism as a team.
They're a much improved football team. You know, they offensively, I think it starts with their quarterback. He's playing very well, completing 65% of his passes, no interceptions. I mean, that's something that really sticks out. You know, he's spreading the ball around. They got some good core receivers, good tight end, good hard-nosed running backs. So, and a big offensive line. So we got a big challenge on Saturday, and our players have got to be ready to play.
Well, we're looking past the disappointment of Iowa and just trying to go into Indiana State with a positive mindset. You know, they're coming in here to beat us, so we got to be on our toes and be ready for anything they throw at us.
Good tight end, hard-running tailback, huge, huge offensive line. And then you go over to the defensive side of the ball, and it's a fairly unique scheme. It's a 3-4, but they use 4-down personnel. They're basically a nickel all the time, a lot of different pressures, some interesting things they do in special teams. So it's a lot to prepare for in 3 days.
Yeah, you know, they're very active up front. You know, they're based to have a 3-4 defense and do some things that create some confusion. So it's all about, you know, for us, identification and making sure we're all on the same page. And, you know, they've been very active up front and caused some negative yardage plays and gotten some sacks, you know, in the first 2 weeks. You know, we got to be able to run the football, and we talk about it all the time. If we can run the football, then we'll be able to throw the football. And we're going to make sure that, you know, we give our guys a chance to have some success and put them in positions so they can play fast and execute.
Well, I think it's every week you're looking for a shutout. I mean, our first goal is to hold the team under 20 points. So we feel if we can do that, we got a good shot at winning a football game. And obviously, it's always you want the goose egg. It's tough to obtain, but that's always the goal every week.
We got to keep demanding a lot of ourselves in practice. You know, this is a team where we're breaking new guys into the lineup. We've got some key guys at key spots that played roles last year, but now we're asking them to play 50, 60, 70 snaps in a game. And those guys have to step up their own expectations of getting themselves ready during the week.
I said moments ago that the scouting report would get you ready for the game Saturday afternoon. I lied, guys. That's not going to get them ready for the game this afternoon, or Saturday afternoon, excuse me. Not this afternoon. That'd be kind of weird. But Saturday afternoon, Torey Fox is here to deliver the big 3 facts you need to know. And who better than a Terre Haute native to give us 3 facts about a game against the Indiana State Sycamores. So let's welcome in Torey Fox to the Third Down Chirp Studios. All right, Mr. Terre Haute native, I'm very anxious to see what 3 facts you picked for us.
All right, I'll do my best. From Terre Haute, but very happy to be here. Happy to be with you guys as well. You're a fun group, all right? We're going to start the big 3 with defensive coordinator Kevin Kelly. Did you know Ball State has only allowed 27 points this season? That's the fewest amount of points given up by a Ball State defense through 2 games since 1995. Pretty good stat. Coach Kelly wanted to simplify the defense, wanted to speed it up. So far, so good through 2 games. Second, shake, rattle, and run. That's an appropriate title for Jawan Quake Edwards, who last week moved into 3rd place all-time on the Ball State career rushing list with 81 yards against the Hawkeyes. He needs only 506 more to take 1st place away from Marcus Merriweather, who graduated in 2002 with 4,002 yards to his name. And last but not least, for whom will the bell toll on Saturday? Metallica, Ernest Hemingway, not eligible. Ball State and Indiana State are, because the winner on Saturday will take home the victory bell. That bell was inaugurated in 1940 by the Blue Key chapters at both schools. Ball State won the victory bell for the first time in 1941, and Coach Magna Bosco of the Cardinals, again, Coach Magna Bosco, held the victory bell in his lap all the way from Terre Haute to Muncie. The Cardinals beat the Sycamores in a barn burner, gentlemen, a barn burner. Final score, Ball State 7, ISU 0.
I gotta tell you, that lead off Sports Center at that.
I think so.
I'm more concerned with how heavy that bell is, though.
Yeah, well, I guess hopefully the Cardinals can figure it out Saturday.
My concern is that I thought Metallica was going to be in for family weekend. And he said they're not eligible to win the bell, so.
Well, that's what
or
happens.
Ernest Hemingway.
And that's what happens when Torey Fox joins the show. But good to see that Torey Fox knew where to come to get a right education, right, fellas?
That's right.
He left Terre Haute and came to Muncie, Indiana. So Torey Fox knows what he's doing. Well, now let's see if we know what we're doing, and let's pick an X factor for the game Saturday afternoon. Tyler, who is the Cardinal you're going to be watching Saturday?
Well, for me, it starts up front, and it starts on the defensive line, especially on the ends, with Michael Ayers. Michael Ayers so far this season is tied for 2nd on the team with 2 tackles for loss and tackles on the team overall. But the defensive line has yet to record a sack. The only sack that has been by Ball State has been Eric Patterson out of the secondary. Indiana State, they're a pass-heavy team. They've got Gary Owens last week, a wide receiver, 6 receptions, 199 yards. Mike Parrish, their quarterback, he likes to sit back into the pocket. 2nd in the Missouri Valley Conference in passing yards. If Michael Ayers can get into the backfield, be disruptive, it's going to be tough for Indiana State.
For me, usually I go defense, but you're stealing my thunder. I'm going back to the offensive side of the ball for the first time this season. I'm going with Jordan Williams at the wide receiver position. I know that ankle's been bothering him a little bit, but so far only 3 catches for 24 yards. Last year he went for 72 catches and over 1,000 yards. He needs to get back to the player that he was last year and be that guy opposite of Kevon Maybon that's disruptive, because I know that he's drawing a lot more attention than he did last year because you had Zane Fakes, you had Willie Snead, You had Jamil Smith, and now he's drawing the opposing team's best defensive back. But with him and Kevon Mabon both playing their best football opposite of each other, the passing game has a bright future. I'm
going to go with Eric Patterson in the secondary as well. We heard Tyler earlier mention how Eric is the only guy with a big sack. That came last week against the Iowa Hawkeyes. But another big reason why I think Eric Patterson is going to be a huge key is Indiana State. They've yet to turn the football over, and you may go, oh, that's weak competition, Luke. They've gone against a Big Ten foe in IU down in Bloomington. So that's going to be key for the Cardinals. And Eric Patterson, if you're watching, if you're listening, I'm challenging you to get the first interception of the season. He's going to get it Saturday afternoon in Schumann Stadium.
I was very impressed with him on Saturday in Iowa. He got a sack. No interception, but he had a sack.
He had
coming off the edge.
Get the interception. Let's beat the Sycamores Saturday afternoon. That's going to do it for Third Down Chirp this week. But before we go and close out the show, quick thank you to Bill Scholl, who now we have to say is our former athletic director, did a great job in supporting all of Ball State athletics, but he was our #1 fan in Ball State Sports Link. So, Bill, thank you so much for everything you did here at Third Down Chirp and the rest of the Ball State Sports Link crew. So that's going to do it for this episode of Third Down Chirp, delivered by Papa John's. Be sure to follow Ball State Sports Link on Twitter. Just search BSU Sports Link. Also on Instagram. Be sure to like Ball State Sports Link on Facebook. For our producers, Alex Seitz and Drew Adamson, our talent team of Torey Fox, Tyler Bradfield, Connor Onion, I am Luke Martin saying so long from Studio B. I can hear the victory bell ringing for the Ball State Cardinals Saturday afternoon. We hope to see you at Schumann Stadium Saturday. So long, folks.